I love you guys. You guys just keep introducing me to all these amazing new, I guess, political figures and advocators for a lot of the stuff that I believe in. So on my Nick Fuentes video, there's 3 parts to it. The third part, my headset just stopped working. So I still have to finish that PDP, PBD podcast. What does it stand for? If I find out what it actually stands for, I will remember the order of it, of the letters. But yeah, during my Nick Fuentes reaction, you guys commented and advised that I should look into Adin Ross. So yeah, I found this video. It's the Adin Ross and Donald Trump full stream. There was a couple videos on the list saying that he regrets endorsing him. I don't know anything about Adin Ross. It's like me and Nick Fuentes. Maybe we're gonna be it's gonna flourish a relationship because like I'm a huge Nick Fuentes fan now. I love what he stands for. America first. I'm Canadian, but again, I'm telling you, like all the countries in the world, America affects everyone. So, and we're right at the border, the imaginary border, man-made. So the wave hits us before it goes anywhere else. But as of lately, there is a wall, because it's called the liberal wall. The liberals, I don't know. Are we made out of flubber? Because like all the nice policies are just flying over us, bouncing off of us into the galaxy and into the ocean onwards. But yeah, let's see what Adin Ross is all about. This is my last political video of the week, and I'm so glad that it's an introduction to what I hope to be someone aligning with Nick Fuentes. Because right now, it's really hard to top him in my eyes. Like, I feel like he's final boss material, like final dungeon. Yeah, like I guess I would be a Guaper. Would that be correct to say? Groiper? What is it? The frog? Anyway, let's dig in. Whoa, this introduction was only 2 minutes. It's a good day for you guys.
What's going on?
Well, today is going to be the most important stream I've ever done, first of all. Wow. And I want to say thank you.
Okay, so before I know anything, he's a good-looking guy. Sorry, husband. But, you know, I'm unbiased.
Thank you for doing this, seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Get some good ratings today.
We're going to get some good ratings. Everyone thought this was going to be fake today, but, we proved them wrong. So.
No.
So with all my Nick Fuentes education, what year was this? Let me pause. This was a year ago, and I saw some follow-up videos saying that him and Theo Vaughn regret endorsing Trump. And I wonder what Theo Vaughn figured out, because he did post and then retract this video of him saying, like, I'm not someone who unalives themselves and is unhappy in their life. Like, I'm happy. I love my fiance. I want to one day have kids. Like, I love life. I'm not an unaliver or someone who's even debating it. And then he retracted that video. So, who the frick knows, you, what that was all about? Was it something to do with the rabbi hole? And I wonder if Adin Ross, I don't know anything about him, is he on the same page as Nick Fuentes?
Right in the living room of Mar-a-Lago, which I don't allow this to be ever done. So you're the first, just about.
Thank you.
And we'll have a little fun today.
Let's do
my
it.
son Barron says hello. He's a great young guy, but he's a big fan of yours.
What's up, Baron? Yeah, Baron's awesome. He's a great kid. Amazing. He's tall.
guy.
Very tall.
He's tall. Good student.
Yeah, he's very smart. I'll tell you that. I do want to first off, say this. Everyone in the chat, everyone in this room, everyone loves you. And I just want to say you're a true hero for this country.
I still do.
I really appreciate you. And I'm really thrilled we could do this today.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me a...
It's kind of funny that there's like a rope.
Do you know what live streaming is on
Are
these
these kids
platforms?
wild?
Yeah.
More or less. It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. I'm going to explain it to you.
Aiden
Right? So I'm going to show you
Ross.
this chat right now. Let me show you this.
He's
So
like
this is the live
talking
chat.
to his grandpa.
So you already broke the website in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
you broke it. The chat wasn't working. But we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi in the chat. W's mean it's good. W means win. Yeah. Yep. So they're putting W's and stuff. Yep.
Oh my
Trump.
God.
All right. So
What a respectful guy.
yeah, everyone is just super
Oh,
thrilled.
you're going to have big ratings today. I can see it.
Yeah, I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Oh, good. Oh, you'd do much more.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
excited. I'm thrilled. Elon actually already he commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well,
with
Elon
you.
is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really a fantastic person. Little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Anyone know why Elon Musk actually left? Is it because Doge was done and like his contract was up, or was he mad about those Epstein files, or is he more far right?
Yeah.
Rockets and tunnels and
Yeah,
everything. He's a fantastic guy.
he's great. So let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool. Let's have a good time. All right. Well, the first thing
He's so
is,
respectful
the reason
to his
why,
elders.
I really wanted to
And
make
of
this room happen
course,
is
the
because there's a lot of
president.
people that are first-time voters watching today. And I
That's
want to make it very
unreal.
clear to everybody that you're a human being. You're a great human being. I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some oldsters, too, because I also know some oldsters that are listening.
Oldsters?
It's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have a country that's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago we're having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way. And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can make the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible. Right?
I'm trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll
he wants to
you'll
be a
love your life
president?
and you'll be successful. And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. We had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And he sort of
This guy is
what
so
they did, it was
cute.
really a coup of somebody. He
Yeah.
had 14
How old
million
is Adin
votes. He had
Ross?
it. And all of a sudden, they went to him and they said, "We don't want you
What a
running
cutie.
anymore." And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. Here, you're focused on this one man,
Right.
and all of a sudden, you're fighting somebody else.
Wow,
But
he's so
she's
young.
actually worse than he is, and you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that. It's going to be very evident. So
His
we go
birthday
out.
is-
We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and
Well-
you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
I have another question, and again, Mr. President, I'm not really fully into politics, but I'm getting there, and I do want to make this very
Like
clear as well.
me.
It's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay, and a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things, and the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have teachers, discuss politics in school.
It's so crazy how many foreigners, like when I worked for the airline in Dubai, I had people from Serbia and like wherever the hell else, Slovakia, telling me how horrible Trump is. I'm like, shut up. Like my husband liked Obama, but it's just because of the amazing marketing they made for all these other countries that had only access to that crap. When you are in the country, or even Canada, like we're so close, you can see, and through visits and connections with the Americans, know the truth. Real Americans, not the circus act.
but it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers. You know, and you're a kid. You know, when you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge.
That's true.
So I want to know what your thoughts on that. You know, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. You know, they're teaching.
It is so true. Like, I have so many quotes from like my grade 7 teacher who I loved. She was amazing, that I still live by to this day. Like, we are such sponges.
Bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed.
I'm not a child anymore.
Even
but
the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I have a friend who's Roman Catholic. She just converted from Christianity of some sort. And I went to high school with her, and she was the one that told me that, like, yeah, Catholics. She's a teacher in a Catholic school now, and she teaches Catholicism. She's a religion teacher and a dancer. And yeah, she was the one to tell me that Roman Catholic schools can't deny other religion like based students. Like, all students are welcome in a Roman Catholic school, which is funny because my Roman Catholic friend had to like prove to the high school, or sorry, to the elementary school, that her daughters are attending, or she wanted them to attend, with a baptismal certificate. So it's like, why are you asking Catholics for their baptismal certificate, but then you're accepting all religions? It's so barbaric and far-fetched. But anyway, going back to my friend, she was saying how, oh dear Lord, this is what happens. I go off track. It'll come back to me. Let's just play it for a couple seconds.
The term liberal, you're not allowed to use that anymore.
Yes, okay. Basically, she's conservative. We talk about a lot of stuff, but her parents are very liberal. And I think because of her parents, she like, I've been reposting a lot of Nick Fuentes stuff, and even before him, I was already like, after the Charlie Kirk stuff, posting like controversial things, and she's like, where are you finding these horrible posts? And I'm like, they're the truth. Like, they're not even horrible. And like a few times she called me out as a racist, and oh man, I wish I can like reference you guys my posts. It had like undertones of like what, let's say, people who support BLM, which she, I think, told me at that time that she did. She's like, Black lives do matter. So that told me something. Yeah, I just wanted to say she's a teacher, Roman Catholic, but she admitted that as a teacher, she, for the teaching purposes and the environment and that career, she is more liberal minded. What?
So
Wow.
I usually use it. But this liberal way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country. You know, we want to have borders, we want to have low taxes, we want to have great schools, really, you know, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves,
Of course.
from some bad players. You got some bad players out there. And, you know, it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars. And just the opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, oh, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
People say like now Trump is like making decisions as if like someone's holding something to his head.
Big nuclear presence. I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated them in a very short amount of time.
I remember.
Very quickly. And we had no wars under the Trump administration, and that's a great thing. You know, that's a really great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before we even get there. That's the problem. We have a number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. And we have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness, because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock
That's
market
their
crashes
microphone,
or
not
depressions
mine.
or whatever it may be. It's a
Going in and out.
tremendous military danger. We have
Yeah.
Israel's blowing up, the Middle East is blowing up, Russia's going wild with Ukraine, and things are out of control, and we have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching when Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't. But they never, after I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for
So
negotiation
true.
purposes. And Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong. And ultimately they attacked, and they wouldn't have done.
Well, with my Nick Fuentes education, they're probably not messing with Trump because he has Israel behind them, and there are Jewish Russians. So, yeah, is Russia afraid of Israel? Like, I don't know the history between Russia, Israel.
That if I were president. So we got
But
to
I
get
just
back
make
in and get it
myself
straight.
super low IQ.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You know, you had mentioned the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth. You know, what I just saw yesterday and the day before, you know, I'm in crypto and I'm in
Right.
stocks myself.
Right.
And I couldn't believe what's going on. You know, you have Japan, you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, you know, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running? And, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day. He can't get up. He wants to stay in bed. It was a fraud. They tried to tell people he was competent. He knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years, too. You know, he campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign. I said, where is this guy during COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, Aiden, 20 million people came into our country with open borders, and many come from prisons. And you can be a liberal, and your people can be, but coming from...
So Trump just introduced, I don't know if it's facial recognition, eye recognition, thumbprint recognition for Canadian travelers. So yeah, we have to go through this crazy biometric process now, and rightfully so. I support that completely because I don't even know what we have in Canada. Canada is so secretive with everything. Like growing up, tragic things happened around me constantly. Like even my aunt, not to get too personal, and what happened in my family, it never made it to the news. Like my uncle was helicoptered to the hospital. It was just like such a tragedy. And this was back in 2000, like right before the 9/11. And nothing went on in Canada. And it just never made it to the news. Like, I know it's like, who's my family? What, like, who cares? But they filter out so much that, like, there was someone who was on some wanted warrant in the US. Like, there was a manhunt on them, and they got so far into Alberta here. And it wasn't until like a week later when they caught him, they were like, oh, a manhunt in America ended in Canada. And it's like, wait, you didn't tell us for a whole week that this person was in Alberta? Like, they knew in customs that he went through. Like, there was something weird like that. I know it sounds like, well, obviously they didn't know he was, but he went through customs. It was so weird. It was just such a weird, conspiring situation. And man, I wish I had that article. I don't even know how to go back to it to like actually explain what made that situation so fishy. But anyways, that's just one example. There's so many examples where they just choose not to advertise it to the public. Like, we have no idea thanks to the internet, but like how much corruption actually is going on in Canada. It's kind of like Dubai. Like Dubai wants to be like known as like the happiest, safest place in the world, and it's because they don't report so much of it. So much of it. Like it's only after you start talking to people they open up and tell you like, yeah, actually I got raped, this and that. Like, well, actually, if you're a woman, you can't go to the police if you get raped because you would go to prison. That's how it works there. But anyway, yeah. There's like people steal things from people there, rob their homes, but they don't talk about it.
Some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world, from the Congo and Africa, they come from all over the world, they're coming, and they're releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing. No. They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States.
Well, they can.
And they're
the
hurting
liberals
and
will
damaging
prove you.
the country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime. And it's going to take on proportions the likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions, prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in. So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but a young audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken, a lot of crime. So what, President Trump, what do we do to fix that issue? What if I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's what we want. We want people to come in, but
you apply for a green card lottery. Lottery green card. That's what my husband and I are currently waiting. They have some new system, and right now it's supposed to open up to apply. It's funny, my friend from Denmark also is waiting for that, but because they have a new system, they have to like figure it out. It didn't like automatically open up, so we're just waiting for that. So hopefully they'll accept another Canadian and a check.
They have to come in through a system, through a legal system. And one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem getting in. I don't even know why they're doing this, but some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied, they learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really rough places, really bad places, and they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people. And they're pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in. Wow. They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release them.
Rest in peace to those people who the catch and release truck driver just plowed through in Ontario, California. Bonkers. Like, WTF. I've been rear-ended. Like, I left the highway and I stopped at a stop intersection lights to make a right turn to go to some theme park in Vaughan, Ontario. Wonderland. So yeah, we got off the highway. I was going to make a right because in Canada, when the red lights are red, you can still make a right. Like you should. The traffic should keep going, but only like you have to check your left over your shoulder to see if there's any incoming traffic, and then you make the right. So I stopped. I'm waiting. There's traffic flowing, and then like 3 minutes later, I don't know. It's not like I stopped and went. Like I had to stop because they had the green light. I was waiting for my opportunity, and it wasn't like anyone left the highway with me. They caught up to me, whoever was exiting the highway and just didn't stop. They just plowed through my car. So, yeah, I got rear-ended that way. Just like it's not like I stopped out of nowhere and they hit me. No, like there was literally no one behind me. And then, boom, 3 minutes later, whoever exit the highway just didn't stop their car.
Our country. I said, no. We catch a criminal and we
Scary.
release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
You know, it's one of those things. There's so many things.
What?
They are so bad.
What
it's
did I
like
miss?
amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right. Do you what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation out there.
Well, I know it very well. And Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. They're in our country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer
down.
than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into all of our cities.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm kidding.
I know.
You know, the reason I have to say that, because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela.
Yeah.
You know, they are so
Man,
bad.
he
it's
has
hard
to be
believe.
so careful.
But anyway, so Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminal elements, which are large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities. And they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father
Why?
must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled?
Aww.
I don't think so. I don't think they're thrilled. I don't think so.
So cute.
So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists.
I love that they're
Everything's been
supporting
moved
their
into the
son.
United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview. Okay. It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly, what they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Adin. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not smart.
No.
And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she is...
Down the tubes.
Look, she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar
Yep.
exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this
did
is who we
she?
have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra-left, ultra-radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General of California, she destroyed California. Her policies...
What's so crazy to me is this dumbass the whole time ran her campaign on we will, when we, what we plan to. Yo, you're in the hot seat now. What are you waiting for? Just do it. Like, why are you creating this wall? Like, I'll only do it if you vote for me. How are you for the people if you're waiting for votes? Like, pay for me to do this. No, like, man, if it was me, if I was Kamala Harris, I'd be doing all these good things right then and there. And that would be my way. Like, if I was a smart liberal, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to vote for her because she's currently cleaning up shop and delivering everything she's promising us. And I want that to keep going. So I'm going to vote for her so it can continue. Like, why did she think it was a good idea to make these empty promises? Like, the IQ on liberals is insanely low. If they did miss the fact that she had the power to work with Biden to make these promises happen right then and there. And she also had 4 years behind her to do all that, which they didn't. So, like, how do you trust? Like, I honestly, to this day, I just don't believe liberals are actually people living in America. I think they're just, like, planted dumbasses to just screw with Republicans and America. Like, I refuse to believe people are this stupid.
Destroyed California. Her policies when she was the district attorney have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco was the best city in our country 20 years ago, and now it's...
Yeah, my dad was a truck driver, and he used to truck drive all around the U.S. He was, like, gone for months. Like, I literally would probably see him just for a shower. Like, he would come home for a shower and leave. Or, like, quickly scarf something down and leave. And then if I was in school, I didn't see my dad. So anyway, he loved San Francisco. And then as the years went on, closer to his retirement, he was like, fuck that shit. I'm not driving out there.
Not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're going to have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar homes that do what I do, content.
Can I share something from my experience today in Canada, Alberta, Calgary? I don't go to the city much. I'll probably go like maybe twice a year. So today was the first time. No, I'm kidding. But really, like downtown Calgary, I haven't been there, I guess, since last year, the core. Like I've been to the outskirts of Calgary, but not downtown, like where the business is happening. You see like men in tuxes walking. Holy moly, from last year, it's like tent city, and like the drug addicts are not even hiding. I would be so afraid to like walk by them with my kids. Like it was such an unpleasant feeling and so drastically shocking, like how much more there are. Like I don't remember seeing them in broad daylight. I remember one time before I had kids, there's this like really sketchy area. It's like Marlborough. It's in the northeast of Calgary. There's a gym there. And we were going to the gym at like 9-10 p.m. And already they came out of hiding, these drug addicts. And that's their area, that parking lot. There's like a train station there. And literally a chick was taking drugs and her baby was in a duffel bag on the floor. She was sitting on the floor. I think it was like outside of Tim Hortons. And you could see like this baby's arms and legs without, like, I think she only had like a onesie, but without sleeves, like a sleeveless, legless, pantless onesie, like a t-shirt style. And all I saw was this baby like flailing its arms and legs. And she was like doing something with her drugs. And I was like, run. Like that was my cardio to the gym. It was scary. That was like the only time I saw something sketchy in Calgary. And then today we went downtown core and they were literally just like like I'm walking with the suit men. Like I don't know where the hell they were going, probably nowhere, just to linger around. But yeah, they were just out in the broad daylight. No, like I'm not kidding you. You usually don't see them until like evening, nighttime.
They're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really, they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened. It's crazy.
That's happening in Toronto.
They have like $1,000 or $1,500 where she started.
There's a diamond store that got robbed like 5 times in a month, like this month.
She won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people.
And it was an old people's mall. Like there was a high school next to that mall. My cousin would go there for lunch. Like I remember it just always being packed with students in kilts because it was a Catholic school. And yeah, this diamond store in that mall that's like mainly infested by old retiree people getting their steps in. getting robbed 5 times in 1 month.
One with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if they get nabbed, they say, no, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Right.
And she started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership. We didn't have stuff like this.
You guys are so lucky to have
when
Trump.
you look at what's happened to this country, and you look
To
at
an
other
extent.
countries, crime rates all over the world are
Rabbit
down.
hole.
You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only the people on the streets, the people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America, and our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof, and if we win, and I hope we win, we should win. We seem to be winning, and you can't even imagine that anybody
good
would
for
want
you,
this. This has
America.
nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals. So they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable, and they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were let. But if they do their job, they have their pension knocked out. They have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away. Everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job. We're going to have to let them do their job. We have a crime-infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation.
I don't know how to feel about the cops in America. I know back in the day, the UK had a really good police force that they didn't even have to resort to guns. But now they're kind of like a laughing stock in the UK. I'm so upset with this one husky story with the cops. And it's just like so many times they just jumped the gun. They tasered a husky to death. This husky ran away from home. And I guess the cop was just afraid of dogs. And this husky was just, lost. And like dogs that start getting like realizing like, oh wait, I'm far away from home. Like I've rescued dogs in that situation. I've kept them in my yard and like made Facebook posts like, hey, I have your dog. She was a little disoriented. they run away from you when they start like realizing like, wait, where's my mom? Where's my dad? I'm alone. Where's home? And you have to like lure them because they will scurry away. This cop taser gunned a husky to its death. And in this video, you can hear it go like, and then it just passed. It was just so mortifying. And there's so many cases where cops I think they need more education, more training, new method. I don't disrespect the cops, but they need some updates.
And we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah. I want to move topics a little bit here. I saw, I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi,
I've
hello,
seen
how
this.
are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart.
So
And I think you handled it pretty
disrespectful.
well, but
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think like they
Why
just
do
straight
they
up do
show
that
up-
for you, but then they're going to ask the other side, oh, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, no.
Yeah,
Well, I did this
I
as a
saw that.
favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever it was packed.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying, hello, thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to do it. But then Kamala said, she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. She's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview.
Kamala is one of those people who, like, I think she, like, practices conversations at home and like they have to go a certain way, or else like if it's slightly not the answer that she rehearsed, she'll be like a deer in the headlights. And so much of her debate when I watched it felt like me in grade 7 when I didn't do my homework. And I pretty much just copy pasted, plagiarized. No, I didn't plagiarize, but copy pasted things and then wrote to make it sound like it's me, but I didn't even know what the hell I copy pasted really. And then I just scrambled and winged it when I had to present it in front of the class. Like that's what she just looked so unprepared and just like winging it. It was just such a horrible thing to watch. The stuttering, the I have no patience for that. I know I am not any public speaker, and I speak slowly, but damn, if I had to stand in front of a nation and represent that nation, I would do a little more research and, rehearse a little bit.
There were hard questions there. She's incapable of answering it. But I walk in and this woman starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this out of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across,
black
she's
people
with
were
ABC
waking
Fake
up.
News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation. Actually, a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman was
why are you
so
being lazy?
rude
So rude.
that, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a thing, and I do them a favor, and I do this. Most people said, why are you
Lift
doing
it up.
I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look you become the president for all of the people,
Right.
not for
Come
a
on,
certain
at least
segment.
once.
Not even for just my, they talk about my base, it's a very big base. But you become president
the
for all of the
center,
people.
dude.
So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are, look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like you need these next 4 years. If not, he's like, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the
Well,
time
now it's just run by Israel.
this election takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything, all men are created equal, as the expression goes, right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are created equal. When
Yeah.
they wrote that, it was a slightly different time. Today, that alone is a politically incorrect statement.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So all men and
It
women
is.
are created equal, everything. But the fact is, when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug dealers, all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly. And it has to be, we have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh,
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know they were allowed to applaud.
yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can keep applauding.
All right, that's common sense, right? It is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates. Be able to buy a
I
house.
saw this video on Instagram, like right when I think back in January, that's when he stepped into his presidency role. Some guy, his account, I believe, is mainly about like crazy white women. he's black, and he just like reacts to like only white women would do something like this, like pick up a Canadian goose and like try to rescue it. Just crazy things. He's funny, but he made a video talking about, I believe it was him, unless I'm mixing him up with someone else. But when he just got inaugurated, he said that Trump knows that at the end of his presidency, he's going to get assassinated. Like, he's going to get shot. So now with all the Nick Fuentes education I'm getting, I always think back to that post, and I was like, like when I was watching it, like, man, that seems too deep for me to dive into. And he was like, hear me out. And I guess that was the Nick Fuentes algorithm start of things. And I just didn't bite. But now I think back to it, and yeah, like with what everything looks like, yeah, maybe he knows something. Like even with these Epstein files, like me and my husband suspect and hope that like once he does everything for America that he has planned, and it's like he's done his term, I think he'll come out with them. Yeah.
House, you want to, so many different things, but you got to have common sense, and we're run by people, and just a little thing. When I started campaigning almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't.
Amen. Oh my gosh, my dad has a sign on our front lawn: "Keep Christ in Christmas." Oh man, yeah, that bugged my dad so much. Like, he's the one who, if someone says Happy Holidays, he'll be like, "Yeah, Merry Christmas." Like, I celebrate Merry Christmas. You can say whatever, Happy Hanukkah, but I'm saying Merry Christmas. So let's see what our Yamaka Trump here has to say about that.
Allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back.
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish.
One thing, we'll get to that. One thing I didn't like in his inauguration, where I was like, no, he's not a practicing Catholic. He is Catholic. Right before they were eating, or there was something, I think they were praying, and like someone who goes to church every Sunday will do the sign of the cross to that, and the camera went on him, and he was just, and then you saw people at the tables or something going like this. So I'm like, whoa, yeah, he's not practicing.
They like to say Merry Christmas. Every one of my Jewish friends say we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry Christmas.
Good, and Kamala doesn't.
She doesn't like it.
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work.
Oh, so he's Jewish, huh? Interesting.
On her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense. Someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed out, or do you
I think that's a lie. I'm pretty sure the Jews don't like Christians, because like Jesus kind of made their religion like a fake one. Like after he rose again, after being crucified and sacrificed, he pretty much said Israel is Christian now. Don't at me, but
I think he made the decision to step down?
No, he was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
It was horrible.
Okay. I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible. Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, I said, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible.
Right.
They never gave. They took away the great debate performance stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I mean, I did fine, and he is. He shouldn't have. Look, he's done tremendous damage to our country. He was a terrible president. He was the worst president
I think they
we've ever
know.
had. She's, by the way, considered the most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's she's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her, and I think he's a really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is. But she was convenient. She was there.
We know.
They have better people. I mean, they have much better people. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were people that were thinking about
One thing about Trump, too, is like, I feel like after he became a president, I think he needs to, like, in the beginning, of course, like, brag. But I think now, just, like, drop it. Like, don't talk about Biden anymore. Don't talk about Kamala. Like, just focus on, look what we've changed. Like, he still goes on to this carousel of, like, they were stupid. They messed up. It was horrible with them. It would never with me. I don't know. Like, it's almost going to be a year now. Like, just let it go. And let's look at how much you've already improved America.
They would have run, except that they didn't want to go through this roadblock with her. And, because you're the vice president. So they wanted to go pick him. And I think virtually every one of them is
It just kind of makes him seem incoherent.
better, smarter, would be a better president than her. But we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
She'll ruin it. I mean, already. It's just, it's ridiculous what she's saying.
And by the way, the youth is so important because youth tends to be Democrat. And as they get older, they become Republican. That's what's happened. We can't wait 50 years. We can't. Make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them. All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I said, don't tell me that. But make the move now. Don't wait 50 years. Our country doesn't have 50 years.
Damn. That's crazy to think about. I want to ask you a question. She did a rally recently. She had a rapper speak, and then she had a rapper twerk. At a rally. Yeah. A rapper
Eminem?
was twerking at a rally.
Is he talking about Eminem?
I want to know your thoughts on that. It's crazy to me to think that there could be twerking at a rally.
Well, what Hillary did is she would go out and get Bruce Springsteen.
Twerking is so ugly.
He'd get much smaller crowds than I got, to be honest. And he had a guitar, right? I don't have a guitar. But he would fill up a place, and then he'd finish, and they'd all leave, and she'd be speaking. So now Kamala's doing the same thing, because nobody wants to go watch her. Nobody.
No.
I mean, she speaks for like a short. Nobody's going to want to watch her, and nobody does want to watch. Now, at least there's a little bit of curiosity, but there's no value really in going and watching her. So what she did is she's gotten a couple of rappers, and they fill up the place. But what she does is a little bit different. She has them go last. That's smart. I give. So in other words, they want her to finish her speech, get the hell off the stage, and then they can listen to the rap.
Performance starts.
No, it's pretty.
It's kind of smart.
Hillary didn't. No, I give her credit.
Yeah, give it to her a little bit.
Hillary never figured that out. She'd get some star, and the star would fill up the place, and then the star would leave, they would leave, everybody would leave, and she's talking to an empty stadium. Anyway, this is a little better idea.
Yeah, I wanna move on to the fun stuff now. I think we've definitely talked on some ideas and policies, excuse me. But I want to go on to the fun stuff because you are a fun guy. I've heard a lot from a lot of people how cool you are, especially Dana. Shout out to Dana. I know you're watching.
Dana.
Yeah, he's the
There's
greatest.
nobody like him. I always say everybody can be replaced except Dana. Because this guy travels the world looking for fighters. Okay, get me fighters. He doesn't care where they from countries nobody ever heard of. And that's where he finds the best fighters. Now, he cannot be replaced. He's truly great at what he does.
He's the coolest. I know you're a UFC fan, right?
I am.
Who are like your favorite fighters?
Well, I think Khabib.
Him and Dana are building a UFC rink with the White House in the background. So, yeah, I can't wait for that fight. When is it? Who's fighting in it?
I mean, how good is Khabib? Do you know who Khabib is?
Of course I know who Khabib is.
Khabib was 29, 28-0, and then his father died and he stopped. But I think he never lost.
I don't know. I don't like
he ever lost
Khabib.
a round. Like,
wow.
He fought many times. He never lost like a round. And I thought he was I got to meet him at a fight 2 fights ago. because I walk in with Dana. Sometimes I do this walk in, and it's pretty cool.
Didn't
Yeah,
you do
that's where I
something
first met
super
you.
controversial?
That's right. Come to the.
Yeah.
If I didn't get any
In his
applause, you
fight,
wouldn't want me on the
like
show. You
jump someone.
No, we get big applause. We
And
walk
his
in
crew?
together.
It's crazy. You shut it down.
No, I met Khabib though, and he was very. He came to me and he said, "You're the man that can stop the war," because he's talking about the war with Ukraine, Russia.
Of course.
Because he knows they're his people. I mean, on both sides, right? There's so many people dying in that war, and the whole culture is being destroyed. You know, the cities are coming down. They're just pouring bombs in, and he really. It was amazing. We weren't talking about fighting. We were talking about a different kind of fighting, a much worse kind of fighting. And he was very concerned about that whole thing, that war. He said, you can get it stopped, and I can get it stopped. I will have that stopped before I assume off. I will, if I win the election, the first thing I'm going to do is get Putin and get Zelensky, I know them both very well, and get them to make a deal. Because it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
It is. And that's. It's like your rallies, the crowd, huh?
I know.
I personally think Putin is like playing Donald Trump like a violin. I really thought Donald Trump is the best guy to deal with Putin, but I think like maybe it's my Slavic background being like a child of two Polish immigrants. Like I could just see kind of the unseriousness in Putin's eyes when he looks at Trump.
Oh, I like this crowd. I think it's good. I like you people. You know what they are, though? They're people that want to see the country do well.
That's it.
It's people that just, like, they don't want to see crime.
Right.
They don't want to be mugged, because they're selfish in that respect. They prefer not being mugged, right? But they don't want other people to be mugged, beaten up, shot, and killed. In Chicago, on July 4th weekend, they had 117 people shot. Think of this, you live there. 117 people were shot, 17 died. This is in one weekend, July 4th weekend.
Wow.
I mean, nobody wants that. If you're living in Chicago, you have a good chance of, something bad happening. When you're going to go buy a loaf of bread, and something really bad could happen. So we don't want to, and they don't want that. The people behind me, who I just met briefly, they're great, but they're like other people. People don't want crime. They don't want to go to wars. They want to be able to make money. They want to be able to have a good life. They want a great education. All the things that you want, just the basic things.
Did he just
And
swear?
we don't have that now.
It's really sad, honestly. And I know.
Well, think of this: Israel. You're Jewish. Are you a fan of Israel?
Yeah.
It would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened if I was president. And everybody admits it. Iran was broke. They had no money. I wouldn't let anybody buy oil from Iran. As soon as Biden comes in, he didn't have a clue. He let everything happen. But Iran was totally broke. They had no money. And I wouldn't let them nobody. China, I said, you buy oil from Iran and you can't do business in the United States. They said, we'll pass. I mean, that's fine. But I did that with everybody. And we would have had a deal.
So now, like, currently, there was the peace treaty that they signed, and Israel has, they've broken, like, they ceasefire 80 times in 2 weeks. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I'm looking back on this interview, and with what I know from what I'm reading and listening to, damn, this does not look good. I don't think America is first for Trump, and I don't know if it's entirely his fault, but yeah, Israel owns the world, or is trying to. I'm kind of afraid of Poland because they are being sponsored by Trump. So I don't know.
100% we would have had a deal, and there would have been no attack. There was no money left. Iran had no money. We would have made a deal. We would have made a fair deal for them. I would have loved to have made a fair deal. I'm not looking to, I just want them, they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. So what happens is we worked very hard on that, and then he comes in and he allows everybody to go. China now is buying millions, billions and billions of dollars worth of oil, and Iran now is a very rich country. And October 7th would have never happened. And it wouldn't happen because they didn't have the money to pay Hamas and Hezbollah and all of these, they call them instruments of terror, a lot of different names. And so October 7th would have never happened. The recent attack on the park would have never happened. That was so graphic and so, normally you don't see that. Normally the media cuts it off, but they didn't have time to cut it off because it was during the day, very public. And you'd see children with their legs cut off. Those initial scenes were so horrible.
It's so crazy when Charlie Kirk got assassinated and how they were interviewing him the next morning. He was like, "Yeah, we got the guy. I think we got the guy." And then they're like, "How have you been coping with this loss of your best friend, Charlie Kirk / almost son?" And he was like, "Yo, did you see what we're doing with the renovations over here?" Like, that to me looks like Trump hiding something. Something like, "I know more, but you won't crack me."
Rocket landed in a little soccer field. Just terrible. All of that stuff would have never happened. And we'll get it stopped fast, by the way. We'll get it stopped fast. There's no games.
Amazing. Well,
why are you biting
everyone
me,
that's
baby
watching,
girl?
everyone behind,
Are you
just
in
know
pain?
that your vote really does matter. And you guys really have a big decision coming up in November. You guys got to really go out there and vote for the right person, which is him.
Wow, that's come in.
Do a little alley-oop there.
It's funny that you do, but now I know why you're so popular, because I've been on for years with
He's
people
so
that
cute.
really do like me, and they're even fair to me and everything else, but they wouldn't do what you just, they wouldn't say, vote for him, They do, they're short of that. They wouldn't do it, and they vote for me, but they wouldn't say it.
Elon Musk said it on Joe Rogan's podcast. It's like, once they would be Democrat in this round, it would just be locked for life. It would be a Democratic country for food.
I think it's great that you can say something like that. I think it's so.
Anyways, what I know today is they've all been sellouts.
It's ethical, it's fair, it's smart. And if you felt that way about somebody else, that's okay too. But you have journalists today, like that one that intercepted me, literally. That was like a booby trap. I walked in and she starts saying, "We got to start a meeting." She didn't say, "Oh, thank you very much for being here."
No.
Just like the worst.
So
And
uncivilized.
frankly, if I owned that network, I would fire her so fast.
Yeah.
It was so inappropriate. And I actually, once you sort of walk out, then you put the guard up, and you actually give less information than what you would have if they did it with sugar, right? But she doesn't know about sugar, that one. That was sort of terrible. It became viral, #1 viral.
Yeah.
And it was the question, it was viral. I think my answers were sort of good.
They were really good.
I think they considered to be, I can't brag, but they were considered to be very good. But
That's good he knows that.
the level of
Sorry, I'm not covering my
hatred,
mouth.
craziness. And you don't know, is that from the head of the network? Or is that from her? But ABC, I've said for a long time, ABC is one, you have George Slopadopoulos, I don't know if you've ever, but he's a nasty guy, you sit down, and yet to Biden, he interviews Biden.
Did he mean George Strombopoulos, the Canadian Greek?
Said there's no way that Biden can handle this guy if the guy is like normal,
Right.
like he normally is.
Yeah.
He was so nice to Biden. He asked him and then when Biden couldn't answer, which he can't answer most of the questions because he has no clue where he is,
Yeah.
Slopadopoulos is giving him the answers. He's giving the question. And isn't it true that you really don't want to see war? Isn't that true? Yeah. No, the whole thing is crazy. Anyway.
I want to real quick talk about one thing. It was super important to me when I saw it. Censorship. I don't know if you saw what Elon had posted. Elon basically showed, if you were to Google Donald Trump about a week ago, all you see is Kamala. That's all you see is Kamala.
very cool.
It's crazy. Google was really trying to push her.
So
Well, Google
is
was
really
even
crooked.
talking to
It's
people,
horrible.
like, hey, Alexa was
when
like,
they had the word
you need to
assassination.
vote for.
There was a big moment a few weeks ago where I got whacked. I got whacked. And whether it's me or anybody else, it was a terrible
crazy.
thing. Terrible thing. For our country, it was terrible for everything. And when you put up the word assassination, it went to Lincoln, it went to many other people, many of whom I didn't even know there was an attempted assassination. The only one it didn't have was Trump.
Yeah.
Think of it. And when you put up the word assassination, it also sent you to Kamala. And people were really angry at it. Look, something wrong with Google. I don't know if it's the people running it inside or the smaller people, so to speak, the people that are actually doing the nuts and bolts. I doubt it. It's got to come from the top. And it's so illegitimate, they have to do something about it. And, I mean, the market speaks. Everybody should maybe just go off Google, not use it. There are so many other things. Watch your show instead. But there are so many things. No, Mark.
And going back to what I said with the Charlie Kirk assassination and them like probing him for, emotion, some kind of regard to it, makes me think also his, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I paused this and I'm like, what the hell was I saying? Literally, that's what I'm doing right now. Epstein files. So the way he was kind of like changing subjects about the CK assassination is the same as his Epstein files, like when they grill him for it. He's like, don't you have anything else to talk about? It's like, that. I don't think that's coming from Trump. Like, I think he feels heat around the collar and like he just, I've said it before, how the logic goes out the window for Charlie Kirk and all these people when like Piers Morgan, anytime it comes to Israel, it's like the logic just stops. And it's because they're paid. And I think it's like with how events are playing out now, I really feel like there's some wall with Trump and the Epstein files, Steen, and the CK assassination. Anyways, I'm low IQ, guys, so I'm just trying to, catch up. But I always have had a good gut feeling that kind of leads my thoughts, so I'm also trying to listen to that with all the information I'm given. But yeah, I definitely don't want to be a Candace Owens about it, where I have my opinion and I'm trying to make everything look according to proving that opinion. I want to find out what the truth is.
Zuckerberg called me, and he apologized. They actually had it where, AI is dangerous. It's going to be with us, but it's very dangerous. They actually had the Secret Service agents were very brave, because when I was being shot at, 8 shots, and as soon as they heard that first gun, I did think I did a.
Okay, it's an hour. I'm gonna stop recording, break this up, and put a part 2 to this interview. Let me just see. Oh wow, it's a long. I'm only half an hour in, and it's an hour. Okay, I can do this. I just want to know if there's gonna be more from Adin, because you guys recommended I watch this video to get to know Adin, and so far I feel like he's kind of surface level with his responses. I don't think, like, he's kind of asking questions that he's been saying during his rallies. Like, I feel like already knows the answers. And I know a lot of the time when like celebrities go on these to like advertise their movies, what the hell, what is that shit called? Tour. Anyway, they get asked the same question and explain the same thing in every single country. So I just feel like he already has the information and he's just asking so he can just repeat his message, his campaign. And during those tours that celebrities go on, the interviewer, a lot of the time, is given the green light to what questions they can ask. They're given the questions to ask, like from the interviewee. Like, you can ask us these questions. I want to promote this, so ask me about this. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully, and it's not because I found out he's Jew. I don't hate Jews. I just, I don't hate Jews. Like I said, I grew up with a neighbor, family friend that I went to school with, and she was half, not Jewish, but Israelic. So, like, yeah, I also grew up with a Polish military immigrant, post-communist father who can see through BS. And I know that Israel wants to rule the world. So, and they're doing very well with America, especially right now. So, like, I just can't unsee that. And I know this boy is innocent. He obviously is not part of the propaganda. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's kind of like he's got his chance to have Trump on his podcast, and that's it. But yeah, he's pretty to look at. But yeah, too young, 25. And I'm married, happily.
Good job, because I heard and I went down.
Just in case
when
someone's
you hear bullets, you tend to
assuming
drop
things.
to the floor if you're intelligent.
Of course.
If you're not intelligent, like, I don't think Joe would have dropped to the floor. I think it's,
No, I think you would have just been like, "What's going on?
hey, what's happening?
What is that?"
Where are those bullets
a bird?
coming from? Oh, there they are. There they are. No, I don't
But
think
to
he would.
his defense, he did say that I'm not usually doing politics. So yeah, I think he's like on my level with the politics knowledge. So I think it's just like, cool, I have Trump on my podcast kind of situation, which is adorable.
Would have dropped to the floor.
Right.
But anyway, it's when you
I guess I should stop. See you in the next one.